Hello everyone, my name is Jaya. I like to talk about art, design, teaching, and storytelling. Today I want to talk about the old horror teaching concept or method of tearing students' artwork in front of them. Not just, through words, but literally tearing the artwork in front of them. In this video, I want to talk about how and why to do it in the digital era. Not exactly tearing artwork, not something as traumatizing as that, but why and how to do it in a more modern era. Basically, I support the goal of tearing artworks, quote unquote tearing artwork. I do not support the method because usually these lecturers who do it are like quote unquote brutally honest, and nobody's going to remember them being honest. Everybody's going to remember them being brutal. Usually, the goals of doing this tearing artwork thing, the message or the goal doesn't get across to students. Why would you tear my 40 hours of hard work on that paper, on that canvas? Why would you do that? So why do art lecturers actually tear your artwork in front of you? It's basically actually meant to teach you that this is not your best work. Your next work is always can be the better one. You've done this before, you can do it again. And second, it's like don't get overly attached. Like don't fall in love too much with your art and go like, oh, this is so precious. I cannot bear to get rid of it and stuff like that. But art lecturers usually don't tell you why they are doing it. They just do it and let you be traumatized and not process what actually is meant to be taught to you. But that's essentially what it's meant to. The positive side is like this is not your best, or you can do better, and so on and so forth. So how do we teach this basically two concepts, like, or basically all it's more or less the same nature, where don't get overly attached to it, you can do better. How do we teach this in like a digital era where you can't exactly tell the artwork if it's not a traditional work? Or what can you do to help yourself learn that by yourself, where you go, okay, don't get too attached to this, keep going, keep drawing, don't stop, don't be too satisfied. I would suggest an alternative teaching method that will have the same impact without as much negativity or trauma associated with it. That would be to open any drawing software of your choice and just have one layer and just keep drawing on it until the whole document is black. Just keep drawing on top of each layer, go and draw and draw and draw. Don't fall in love with a drawing and then go like, oh, I don't want to draw on top of it. Just keep going and drawing, and then you'll find yourself loosening up and not falling too in love with what you create. This exercise is actually from Henry Yen's figure drawing book, where he describes like, okay, you have a whole big A2 piece of a newsprint, and then you just keep drawing on top of that. You don't fall in love and go like, oh, I want to keep this so dear to me, and you just draw on top of it. Draw, keep going until the whole paper is a mess, and then that's how you learn how not to be too attached to your work, overly attached, and not to fall too much in love with it. In a class setting, you might want to, as a lecturer, you might want to walk around and make sure that all your students are still on one layer, and they are constantly they might probably try to avoid drawing on top of what they like. Oh, I drew a nice one, I drew a nice head here, I drew a nice portrait here, but I don't want to draw on top of that because I don't want to mess it up, because I think that one's a good one. No, you must make sure they go on top of that, draw on top of it, make sure the whole document is a mess. You can try this exercise yourself. You'll probably find how hard it can get once you realize you drew. Oh, I drew a nice head here, or I drew a nice thing here, but now I have to draw over it. I think you'll feel the pain, and which is kind of actually quite good for you. And now you learn that to not be too attached to your art, not to fall too much in love with it. As always, stay safe, keep creating, like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.